Hey, good day, everybody. This is Randy Simononff with Keller Williams Action Realty and High Elevation Homes Limited. And today I'm joined with my good friend David Stroud from Fairway Independent Mortgage. And
Colorado Home Buying Simplified.
that's right. And today we're going to talk about a piece of a contract, a small part in dates and deadlines that could help a buyer potentially get an offer over other buyers that are going for the same property. But in turn, it also helps the person or people selling their property. David, let's talk a little bit about that. What do you say?
Absolutely. So it's really cool opportunity. It's called a pre-underwritten loan. So the way that it works is that all of the heavy lifting of all the verification of employment, all bank statements, all the funds, all that stuff is taken care of beforehand with a to be determined address. And then when you put an offer on a home, that offer is accepted and a few things are adjusted. What's really unique about it, though, is if your loan is pre-underwritten, you can close in as little as 2 weeks on your home instead of the 30 to 45 days. And one thing I think a lot of times sellers and maybe even the seller's agents, they might not catch the importance of that. And so what's really important is that when you are writing an offer and you have a pre-underwritten loan letter, it's a good idea to remove the loan objection deadline. And that could be sometimes if something happens and the loan doesn't go through, even up to like a week before closing, the buyers can back out and they get their earnest money back and everything's fine. But that really helps to establish more, solidify the offer. Like, we want this house, we're removing it. And you say, look, if something happens, if we decide that we're gonna go buy a boat, or a new motorcycle, then yeah, obviously we don't want the house because that's gonna mess up the loan process unless they buy it with cash, but if they decide they're going to get a new loan, or if something happens, they lose their home, they lose their job, they're not going to be able to get the loan anyways. But as long as nothing changes, it really, really helps that offer. And Randy, so this is my perspective to help someone to get a home. And I've had people who have used that pre-underwritten loan to actually win the offer on a home where they weren't the highest bidder. Other people were offering more than they were, but they still got it because they could close faster.
Yeah, from my perspective, I think it's a huge, it's pretty big. I mean, it's a big piece of the bargaining, being able to say, hey, listen, you know what? We're going to close in 2 weeks. I'm removing this out of good faith, this loan objection deadline. That way the seller is not worried. I mean, that, oh my gosh, we're going to go through this thing for X number of weeks before close, only to find out that they're going to back out. The buyer's still going to be able to get their earnest money back. And that puts us, the seller, back at square one, relisting the house, remarketing everything, having people, come through your
Right?
house for showings. It can get crazy. Why not just be really solid and feel really good about the fact that, hey, it's a big bargaining chip that those sellers are using, but it's benefiting the buyers using, but those sellers are benefiting from it as well.
Yeah, and I think it also takes into account too that sometimes if someone's like cash buyers are coming in, like investors, they're putting offers on multiple homes, and then they go ahead and they sometimes will choose like, yeah, we'll put offers in these homes, and they back out, right? Or a cash buyer, and so then they get to determine like we're gonna win all these bids, and then they're gonna back out, and so. But this essentially puts someone who's not a cash buyer in the position of being really close to being a cash buyer, but they're not putting in multiple offers. They're just putting in the offer on that one house, and they're not going to back out.
Let's face it, we're in a super, super competitive market for a buyer right now. Anything that agents and lenders can do to help strengthen an offer is huge right now, really big. So that loan objection removal, I think, is absolutely worthwhile, and it's worth promoting during the offering period.
Yep, I agree too. Hey, thanks. If you guys have other questions about real estate strategies or investment strategies related to real estate, please give us a call. We'll get our contact information below or send us a message.
Thanks very much.